Sarah's expression was stoic. Silence enveloped the room for few minutes. Then she turned to me and asked, Kemisola, what's going on? Tears welled up in my eyes again and started dropping. I dried my eyes the best way I can, then said, Bro Caleb had the carnal knowledge of me today. What? Sarah screamed, standing up and staring at me like a ghost. How? When? Where? She asked, looking confused, and a part of her seemed to break in pain. I felt really lonely today, and the thought of my mother's death flooded back. The pain was drowning me. I tried to bury my emotions in reading, but it just wouldn't work. I decided to take a walk to nowhere in particular. While I toiled on the street, I remembered Bro Caleb. I went to visit him just for him to encourage me, and then it happened. I was sobbing and had my head bowed. Sarah was silent. She buried her face in both palms, weeping. That's why I said the marriage will not work. Sarah, I'm pained. You have to understand this, please. Sarah was still weeping. After some minutes, she stopped weeping and wiped her tears, and then said, He is not the one. I looked at her with weak, teary eyes. She continued, Bro Caleb did not propose to me. I was in total shock. Then who? I asked. It's Pastor Vincent, she said. You mean the general coordinator? Yes, she replied calmly. I stared at Sarah for a while and started laughing. You must be joking, I said. Not at all, she replied, looking pretty serious. But I thought you had affection for Bro Caleb, and that's why you kept pressuring me to define my relationship with him. I thought you wanted him also. That's why you seemed sad anytime he texted or called. I wanted to go over and over to recount those reasons to Sarah, but she stopped me. Were those your thoughts? Sarah asked, looking sad. Yes, I'm sorry, I said in tears. Sarah began to cry also. I never had affection for him. I was only concerned about you. You told me the situation of your family, and I was disturbed that I wouldn't want you to make a mistake. When you became my roommate, God pressed it within me that He wanted me to help you. I never knew how. I prayed the best way I can, but it is well. The point is that whenever Bro Caleb is around, my spirit troubles me for you. Sarah wept at interval as she said those words. I was chasing shadows, Sister Sarah. I never prayed for the will of God as you advised me to. I lied to you. I just imagined Bro Caleb was the one. I allowed my will rule over God's will. I said and fell to the floor, crying. I looked up and all I could say was, Oh Lord, have mercy. Sarah held my hands and led me to Christ. We prayed for 2 hours. I reconsecrated my life to the Lordship of Christ again, and then felt this warm tranquility flooding my soul. The service the next day seemed different. My heart was tender and dealt with already, so the word of God penetrated easily. It was a refreshing moment in the presence of God. After the service, my heart was bubbling over with excitement. I could not fathom the joy. It was a cozy feeling. The pains I felt seemed to heal. I had the assurance that God was for me, and that thought was soothing. Bro Caleb approached me, and all I could see was a penitent son. He apologized deeply, and I assured him that I had forgiven him. Oh yes, I have. We agreed to make an open confession before the congregation. I did not get to see Bro Caleb in service till the 4th night. I guess he went on a personal retreat. I had also taken time apart to seek the face of God, and my spiritual life took a new shape. I now truly know God for myself. We both visited Pastor Vincent, the general coordinator, and opened up to him. He was displeased that such had happened in the fellowship, but he was yet happy that we had retrieved our footsteps back to God. After that incident, Bro Caleb relocated, as he had rounded up his postgraduate program already. Pastor Vincent called to inform me that 3 of the brothers that had signed on my name had retrieved. I wasn't surprised. I expected such. 4 months after then was not palatable for me. I stumbled from one sickness to another. The persistence of the sickness made me visit the medical center, and I received a medical report that appalled my heart. It was truly unpleasant. HIV positive. But how? Bro Caleb was too holy and handsome to be an AIDS patient. Cooling my heels in pain 2 months after, Bro Caleb showed up again and said he had a confession to make. He told me of his past life. He was a chronic philanderer who chased everything in skirt before he surrendered to God. He surrendered to God after he became an AIDS patient. I was sad, but I had to forgive him. I gave room to the devil, and maybe this is the consequence I had to face. I'm 35 now and still single, but serving God to the fullest. I haven't seen or heard from Bro Caleb for a decade now. Sister Sarah is married to Pastor Vincent with 2 amazing kids, and their ministry keeps blossoming. Oluwaseun, my younger sister, is also married, and I am happy she is. Not that suitors don't throng my path, they do, but disappear at the instant I tell them I'm an AIDS patient. The stigma seemed frustrating at first, but my knowledge about God keeps me going. I guess I'm married to God, and I gladly do His biddings. Dear Christian sister, my life story should be one you should draw lessons from. Stop chasing shadows and start chasing God. Do not limit yourself to someone regardless of looks or prowess. God has something else and even better off for you. Seek the will of God in every area of your life, and know that whatsoever you do, a consequence is attached. If you return back to God, you may still stagger under the weight of the earthly consequence, but the eternal consequence is lifted. But if you don't return to the Maker, the earthly consequence and eternal damnation abounds. Please, draw nearer to God. He's calling you. I am Kemisola Benga.